Let's talk about question banks. So I'm in quizzes, and I will just say this: I love question banks. It allows me to mix quizzes up so students don't get the same questions as each other, and it also allows um, for students to do retakes and get different questions, so they're not just getting the same questions over and over again. So I'm going to show you how to create question banks in the new quizzes. So I'm in quizzes. And one thing I want to point out, if you look up here where it says new quiz, right here there are these three dots. And if I click on that, you'll see right here where it says manage question banks. Unfortunately, if you click that, that is for question banks within the old quizzes. Hopefully that will change, but it's not, it's a little tricky to find where the question banks are in the new quizzes. So let me just go back a little bit here. So I'm going to hop back into quizzes. So again, if you click up here, this manage question banks is for the old quizzes. So that should be going away here in the next month or two. What I typically do is I just make a dummy quiz at the beginning of the year. So I'll just do new quizzes, and I literally title it like question bank sandbox. There you go. And so I don't really even worry about this. Excuse me. And then down here, I'm going to unclick that. I'm going to hit build. So when I click build, I then get access to the place where I can actually build it. I don't even worry about this down here because the only reason I want this quiz is to access the question bank feature. So now that I'm in a quiz, so I had to create this quiz first. Now that I'm in here, I can click these three dots and you'll see that I now have managed item banks. And this is nice because you're going to see all of my item banks. So what's really cool about this is that your item banks or your question banks just move. I can access them in whatever course that I create. So this is the course you are in right now. This is not the course my students were in the spring, but all of my stuff is here. So I want to point out a couple things. Number one, you'll see that I number again. So this is sort of my filing system, right? So you'll see that if I was going to do a quiz about the colonies, that I have all of those are the O3. So you'll see that I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different question banks for the colonies. So my big suggestion is to make a question bank with all the same type of question, and each question within that question bank is going to be worth the same number of points. So you'll see like this one says 13 colonies map. So if I click on here, you'll see that these are all the same questions. The numbers are different and things like that. But it allows me, when I put these into a quiz, I'm just going to tell it to choose one of these. But if I put in a map in here and multiple choice questions and things like that, some kids might get a map, some kids might get a multiple choice question. So my item banks, I do by question type. So this first part is the topic, and then the second part is the question type or the topic. So I know that this is the 13 colonies map. And then you can go on, you can see that I have key economic terms. That's a focus that we do in our class. We have multiple choice. We have short answer. Then we have this triangular trade map. So when I make the quiz, basically they're going to have like 5 sections, right? They'll have a colonies map that's going to pull one from this this question bank, and then I can pull however many I want from each of these others. So just to recap, let me show you how I got here, right? So I'm in a quiz, step 1. Step 2, click on the 3 buttons and hit manage item banks. All right. Now, if you've never made these before, yours is going to be empty, right? You're not going to have all this stuff that I've got. So you can click up here where it says comment, or you can hit bank, and you can see that I've got 2 pages. So I usually will just go to the end. So my last number was 17. So I'll add a bank, and I'll just say that this is 18 test sandbox. Okay, and then I'm going to hit create bank. And then it's going to open, take me back to my bank. So sometimes if I plan out my assessment and I know that I'm going to have multiple choice, map, true, false, ordering, or whatever, I'll make all of my um, question bank little like shells like this one. See, this is my test sandbox and you can see it has 0 questions. So I just line them all up and then I can go and I can make my questions. So once I've got them here, a couple things. If I click right here, it's going to take me in here. It's going to tell me you don't have any. And then I can click new and then it's going to tell me all the different types. So if I wanted to make this one a multiple choice or a true false, I just click that. And then I just start making my true or false. This course is great. All right. And then I can just hit done and you'll see it keeps me right within that quiz bank and I can just keep adding more. If I'm done with this one, I can then hit return and it'll take me back. It'll take me back here and I can go back to the manage banks. Or if I'm in here, I think if you click right here, it'll take you back to those item banks. Yep, it won't take you all the way back out to the quiz, right? So over here you have some options you can edit or you can delete, but that's how you set up and create your sandbox, your question banks. And then in the next video, Brad Puno is going to show you how to use these within an actual quiz.